Good morning, dears. Welcome back to English class. I'm here, your English teacher, Mrs. Shahla Bibi. So today, let's start a story again by Louisa by Alcott. It was an extract from the story Little Men by her. The title of the story is Thomas Missing Dollar. So shall we start? So dears, let's start our story now. When the story begins, let's find that Tommy, the main character of the story, was able to make a lot of money by selling the eggs in his aunt's late. He was becoming a spendthrift, and so his teacher, Mr. Bear, presented him with savings bank to save his pennies. It's like coin box, okay? He could use the money after he had saved $5 only. Then Tommy kept an account of the pennies saved and he needed only one more dollar. He was happy when Mrs. Bayer paid him $1 for 4 dozen eggs. He raced to the barn to show the 4 shining quarters to Nat, his friend, who was also saving to buy a fiddle. At that moment, someone called them to see Dan's snake. Dan has got a snake from the lake. Okay. Tom left his money inside an old winnowing machine and ran with Nat. Tommy was so interested in the snake that he forgot all about his money until he was in bed that night. Even then, he did not worry since he knew that no one but Nat had seen him hiding it. The very next morning, when the boys come to school, Tom asked if anyone had seen his money. He explained the situation to them, and as each boy pleaded ignorance, the suspicion fell on Nat. Not only was he the only one who had seen Tom hiding it, he was also given to telling small lies. He had the habit of telling lies. However much he protested that he was innocent, Nat knew the others suspected him and was very upset. Mr. Bear walked in at that moment and took stock of the situation. Tom told his teacher how he had lost his money. Mr. Bear asked the boys to listen to their conscience and return the money to Tommy. When Nat said that he had not stolen the money, Mr. Bear explained to him that he was suspected on 2 accounts. First, because he was the only one he had seen Tommy hiding his money, and second, because he had the habit of telling lies. And yet, the teacher said he would trust the boy until he was proved guilty. Nat wept bitterly. He had no way of proving his innocence. Mr. Bear said he would not refer to the situation again and asked the boys to do the same. Nat felt tortured, for he knew the boys suspected him. Only Dan was around protectively. One day, Billy, another friend, found some money on Tommy's shelf meant for Tommy. Tommy dashed off to tell Nat that he had found his money, and Nat was so genuinely surprised that everyone knew he had not stolen it. Mr. Bear too was so happy and waited for the mystery to be unraveled. During supper that night, Mr. Bear received a parcel from Mrs. Bates, and Demi, another student, opened it to find a book Uncle Teddy had given Dan. The parcel was a note too. It said that Dan had sold the book to her son Jimmy for $1. This is Mrs. Bates' son is Jimmy, okay? And she had returned it to Mr. Bear since this book was worth more than $1. Now Dan explained to Mr. Bear that he had sold the book to Jimmy for $1 for paying this to Tommy. And Even Tommy was surprised because Dan did not owe him the money. Mr. Bear asked Dan if he had put the dollar on Tommy's shelf. At that moment, Dan said he had, but would not elaborate on it. He was not at all ready to elaborate it. He would not even apologize. Even though he was a good boy, he didn't apologize. Mr. Bear was relieved to know the truth anyhow, and the next morning, he got the idea. He told Dan it was never right to tell a lie even for saving a friend. The mystery of Tommy's missing dollar was solved with a nod that was left by Jack to Mr. Bear. He said he had stolen Tommy's money. He had seen what Tommy was putting in through a crack in the wall in the barn, and he was upset when Dan was being blamed for his crime, and so confessed to his crime. He had not spent the dollar, it was under carpet in his room. He wanted Dan to have it. He also said he would not return to the school. Now Mr. Bear told Dan he had forgiven the lie, but it had not served its purpose. Then Dan was ready to confess that he did it to keep the boys from thinking Nat had stolen Tommy's money. Actually, he had done to save his friend from this torture. The ends our story. Do you like your story? It's so interesting, right? You might have done like these things in your life, but please keep in mind that it's not fair to tell lies for saving your friends. Got it? Thank you.